Trotsenko, money, money. Bohdan Trotsenko.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
I'm kidding. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. When I was a youngster, yes, this high, I was amazed by many things. For instance, every day my father left our home only to return in the evening. Why? I asked. Why does this happen so? Well, I was explained, my father needed to work so that he will get paid, so that we'll have what to eat, where to live, and we can buy toys. That was an argument, however. And at the time in my head was full of fairy tales, and fairy tales, there were only kingdoms, and there were kings who were always rich, and people who were always poor, and one smart guy who helped to get the deal out of there. And if only I were a king, I dreamt, I would give the money to the people so they would stay at home with their children, making their children happy. Well, the next moment I remember is when our family started to build a shed. There were very many work required, and what I remember that a huge truck came to our neighborhood and offloaded big and long wooden boards. And after half a day of offloading that boards, my father came to his driver, gave him the magical paper, and the driver happily drove away. That was the same magical paper my mother used in a shopping store for getting us food and toys. As I later discovered, money has a long history, and it's only a human thing. For no other creature on earth value gold as much as we do. People would go as pirates to attack ships for gold and money, killing those who disagreed in between. People would go for Alaska to get the gold, and many did not return and did other crimes. For instance, in 1970s there was a Ford Pinto car. It was a small and good car, however with a minor problem. The tank was in the back of the car. In a case of rear collision it would explode, killing or injuring people. And those who were injured took the Ford to court to sue. And during the court it turned out that Ford knew long about the problem. And they considered a special metal shield costing $11. If they were to install this shield on all the 12.5 million cars, that would cost them 137 million. On the other hand, the amount of accidents that estimated with these cars is about 180,000. And they would pay normally $200,000 per death and $67,000 for an injury. And if they recognize a problem, it would take them about $700 to repair and do services to 2,000 cars. So in total, they would about $49 million to go this way, and they choose this path. Well, and at that moment, judge punished them enough to teach them a lesson, not to put a price on a human life. So at that moment I thought of money as about equivalent of work. So the more you work, and the more important your work is, the more you get. This is not quite true, because at that moment I discovered that a woman in our school were paid 400 hryvnias per month, and for the same job a cleaner got 2,000 hryvnias per month. Then I thought about money as a kind of equivalent of attention. So you go to a hairdresser, get your hair cut, pay for the attention, pay for the time. And that is also not quite true. There are luxury things. For example, there are robes that trade for about $37 million one in an auction. Well, that's enough to have 1 million people fed in Africa for a month. Or there are virtual phones that cost $50,000 each. And besides that, they are not well functioning, well, not well have so many functions. So they are just suited to the guards of Ukrainian officials, and that's all. And I dreamt of a world where money would play a lesser role. We do pay for police. We do pay for medicine that is free in theory. We can go a bit farther and pay a monthly amount to everyone just to guarantee their survival. And that would be voted for, I guess, with the minor exception how exactly the goods are redistributed. So I wouldn't like it. And what I found out is a rule that you should simply have enough money to sustain a living for 3 months. I love the definition of Tess Godin of rich. Rich if you can afford a choice. If you have a phone, you are rich. If you can switch a job, you're rich. Don't let your money control you. Be rich.